Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell if you love to watch more cheating stories. Still working on recovery after 8 years. So, after about 6 months of not having dreamed about her, for the past 2 consecutive nights, she returned to haunt me in my dreams again. I think I am afraid to go to bed tonight, and I am damn near 50. The dreams were always somewhat of a reflection of what really happened between us. I was madly in love with her, but there she goes fucking other people behind my back. And every time, I'd wake up as if a steel bar unsharpened was driven right through my heart. It's brutal. This was the last woman I ever got intimate with after my divorce. She was a year younger than me. After my divorce, where my ex-wife basically nuked me from the inside by cheating, I vowed to just focus on raising my daughter properly and never trust a woman again. See, by the time I got married at 31, I already came to the conclusion that cheating is human nature. People will cheat sooner or later if given the chance. So I married my ex-wife not out of love, but BC she said she'd kill herself if I don't accept her love. I figured, hey, that means she would never cheat on me, right? And I can learn to love her. Now that just means she's crazy, and I was naive and stupid. So a year after the divorce, I got a call from her. See, I met her a year before I got married, but she had a boyfriend at the time. And when things began to get romantic between us, I said I don't play like that. If you like me and want to get serious with me, you need to break up with your boyfriend. I am not interested in messing up other people's relationships. Her reply was pulling a Houdini. I never heard from her again. She vanished totally. My texts and calls all went unanswered. So imagine my surprise to hear from her again 6 years later. She said she ran into my mom at the gym and heard about my divorce. And she would like to meet up. So I brought my adorable little angel to meet her and catch up. She gave me some bullshit about disappearing on me, so I knew she was still a player. And as casual dates became more frequent and I began to notice that romantic feeling returning, I said to her that we shouldn't let things develop that way, as I have always been a family man, especially now that I am a single dad with a toddler to care for, while she remains a player after all these years. Things just won't work out between us. Let's just be friends. At this time, I also learned that she took money from old men to have dinner dates with them. She said she never slept with them, but I was like, BS, if you took $3,000 or $6K from them. You didn't just have dinner, she was like, reunion like ours is 1 in a million. We need to cherish it. Blah blah blah. So again, weak-minded morons like me who have trouble saying no got hooked again. I admit a good part of it was because she was stunning. All of the girls I dated up to that point were 4-6 out of 10 at best. BC I believed prettier girls are higher maintenance. Now suddenly here was a 8.5 or 9, albeit quite used, who was crazy about me, so it did play into my ego. Long story short, what followed was 6 years of extreme end of a spectrum. For the first year, she often complained about how I should be very grateful that a pretty thing like her is willing to become my girlfriend, for I am a divorced man with a child, i.e. damaged goods. Should have left but didn't. She knew how to manipulate by getting close to my daughter. At the time, my ex-wife was distant. So my daughter sort of received that motherly love more so from this GF than from her own mom. I have full custody, but I still let my ex-wife have my daughter for the weekend. The GF would always be sure to tell me every time some random guy asked her out. She said one time a retired actor pulled up in a Rolls-Royce wanting to take her out. She worked as a receptionist at a hospital, or some patients/doctors always wanting to take her out, etc. There were always some guys texting her, too, including her hairstylist, to the point that I finally decided to pick up the phone when he called to ask him what he wanted. She wasn't happy about that and still went to him to get her hair done. Anyway, as the years went on, things got progressively worse. I came to realize she was in touch with not just one, but at least 2 of her exes, of which one of them was the guy I didn't want to hurt some 6 years ago. As I was close to 40s by then, I told myself, fuck it. If she screws around, she screws around. As long as she comes home to me, that's fine. My daughter has come to see her as a mother, I can't let my daughter feel she got abandoned again. Sadly, that would happen anyway. She broke a couple of major promises to my daughter intentionally just to see how I would react. Yes, I knew this woman is screwed up psychologically. She has serious daddy and mommy issues, for she comes from a very f***ed up family. I knew before I got involved. I just believed her when she told me she realized that her old life was wrong and that a family life with a family man is what she wanted, even though I knew deep down inside that people never change. So, after we celebrate her 6th birthday, she went back to her mom's place and called me. She said she needs to take a break from us, and that if I loved her, it'd give her the 3-month break she needed. I was like, WTF, we are in our 40s, and you are behaving like a teenager. Then I found out she was flying to Japan with the ex before me. The one that had hurt her so bad and abandoned her. The one who she said she hates and will never talk to, though he visited her at least once a month, and that officially marked the end of us. She did a couple morphed up things after to hurt me, but especially my daughter, I think to get a reaction out of me. For the first 3 to 4 years, I was afraid to go to sleep. I'd dream about her and wake up terrified. Things only got slightly better after 6 years. But dreams like what I had these past 2 nights just dragged me back to 8 years ago. I know dreams are just dreams, and psychologically speaking, dreams like this is my subconsciousness trying to tell me to get some shit done instead of procrastinating. Still very disturbing. Is there anything to be learned here? Well, I think it's true what they say about women with daddy issues but really don't get serious with them at all. I think not dating someone who is not mentally stable, dependent, needy, narcissistic, etc., would be smart. If someone you date put you down, leave immediately. If your date asks you for money before you got married, you need to be cautious. If you are a single parent, don't introduce your dates to your kids unless they have proven themselves worthy. Learn to say no is very important. If you feel something is wrong, then something is wrong. Listen to your inner voice. I have come up with a theory of why every woman I dated cheated on me. See, I am a traditional type of guy. I think if it means we are serious. But I think these women I dated just wanted to have fun with a somewhat decent looking guy. It's like in a man's fantasy would all like to get physical with every attractive woman we see, but not necessarily have a relationship with them. So after the initial passion/lust stage was over, they have trouble leaving. I got all serious with them. In another word, my love was suffocating them. They didn't want all this responsibility/commitment nonsense. Just like men, they wanted wham bam thank you ma'am. Worse, I am the type that never gives up no matter what. They can only get me to let go by cheating. I doubt there are men who think like me anymore. 1 year after we broke up, a high school friend of hers who hung out together with us contacted me via FB to let me know all the f***ed up shit she did behind my back, including taking on a couple of elderly doctors at her hospital as sugar daddies. I was like, now why doff did you say nothing way back when? You are her accomplice, too. I got really worked up and contacted a bunch of her friends that I could find on FB and asked them how they could have sat there and helped her lie to me and my daughter to the point that she emailed me and said she was going to sue for defamation. Never ask why though. What's done is done. Besides, I knew full well what kind of a person she really is before I got involved. So really, I was just angry at myself for not knowing better and for allowing her to manipulate me. I think cheaters cheat because they are not happy, and they think cheating can make them happy. Well, at least, the initial excitement can. As for her motive for staying with me for 6 years before jumping ship, well, I was somewhat of a public figure with a reputable profession, so I think the family life that I provided really was attractive to her. At the same time, she could leech off of my positive energy until it became poison with the negativity she brought. What I am trying to say is, we shouldn't just trash cheaters. Instead, realize each one of us has the capacity to be one, if we just let ourselves drift away. I do still love every one of the women I dated even though they cheated on me. I understand why they cheated, and I don't blame them. It's simply human nature. If I were in their shoes, I probably would cheat, too. So, I am going to focus on healing and staying positive, so I won't end up like them. They were a very intimate part of my life. If I trash them, then it's like I am trashing myself for I was one with them. All of these years, I thought about writing down what happened, and now it is done. This ranting is finally over. Here are some of the best comments from our community. You didn't get cheated on because you're a traditional guy. You got cheated on because your partner picker is off. You admit yourself to seeing past red flags because she had physical beauty. There are a tremendous amount of women you could and can date that would be traditional just like you, but you chose a terrible partner immediately after your first partner cheating on you because you valued the wrong things. Agreed on all counts. Some people won't cheat. I mean, I'm one of them. Cheaters don't cheat out of unhappiness. Therapists love to try to convince them of that, so they can have an excuse that makes it not their fault and something to work on. The only commonality with cheaters is that they have no integrity. That's it. Nothing to do with the other person, the relationship, the affair partner, etc. Just that. No integrity. Get out. The fuck? 8 years? At least get a better counselor. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell.